Coming up on today's show, we have the latest Disney news and a trip report. That's coming up today on Traveling with the Mouse. Welcome everyone to Traveling with the Mouse. This is episode 378. We're counting them up slowly but surely. Before long, we'll be at 400. Hope you'll stick around for all of those. I am your host this week. I am Jason, and I am joined by my esteemed colleagues. First, we have Adam.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing today, Adam?
Excellent.
Excellent. You ready to get into the news?
Sure. I always love the news.
I hope you brought cash. All right.
Yeah. Extra cash.
Yes, extra cash. And also joining us is John.
We wants the redhead.
What? I think I know where that's coming from, but that's been updated.
It's coming from the past.
Sorry. That was just random.
We wants the rum?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's supposed to be we wants the rum now.
Quit your clucking.
That's still some terrible dialogue. I just can't do it.
It's the rum they want. Don't you, boys?
Yeah. Jane from the Tarzan scene is saying all this.
Show us your flock.
That's just going to be the whole show today, I think. Let's just have you do various clips from Pirates of the Caribbean. How about that?
Oh, various ones? Oh, okay. Retired ones or current ones?
Oh, everything,
Yeah.
I want to hear a clip of the dog. Can you do the dog?
The dog?
I can do the...
Okay. Does he even say anything? I'm trying to think.
A nice juicy bone.
Doesn't
he say that?
It's like, come over here, dearie. Have a nice juicy bone.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well, we could do this all night, all day.
All day.
We've got a few news stories to hit up. Unsurprisingly, one of us went to Disney World. It was me. So I have a bit of a trip report to talk about. We had some, not newbies, but some non-regulars that we went with. So I'll talk a little bit about how that went. But before we dive into that, I'll just say that I was one of the last to be able to get some of the prices that I did on that trip. Because the main story today, and we're going to spend a lot of time on a variety of these stories, is the price increases have come across the board again to Disneyland and Disney World. We're going to start going a little bit down piece by piece, and I think there's a lot of the same reactions we're going to see for each of them. Before we get into some of the details, though, my first gut reaction is we knew it was coming. Inflation is high. But if they had if this was keyed to inflation, we would have gotten much lower prices because this is off the charts level of inflation. I think some of it, you almost feel like you can't be surprised anymore. But as we start diving in, it's so egregious. Some of it is so egregious. Honestly, we'll dive into some of the food and drinks. I'm a little upset about some of them. I think actually the food ones aren't that bad. In some regards, we'll talk about some of them because, food prices have gone up. It's some of the other ones that really, they just went whole hog on.
Baseline Taphouse no longer has the best prices of... Well, actually, they're still not terrible, but they went up quite a bit for...
You just had to keep talking them up.
Yeah, literally, we talked about this.
How about we start there then? Baseline Taphouse, okay? Baseline Taphouse used to have the charcuterie board for $10. And the large beers were $10.50. No longer. Yeah. Charcuterie is now $12.50. A $2.50 increase. That is a 25% increase.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. 25%. Big beers, $10.50 to $11.75. So $1.25. Just over 10%. Just over 10%. So I actually don't think those prices are that bad. I still would go there, and they're probably still the best deals on property. It's just it's no longer
Yeah.
so low.
Right. Used to be a great kind of bargain place, to be honest. Which, again, we warned ourselves about talking about this, and look what happened.
It's no longer solo. Now it's Java.
Yeah. Sure. Solo. Yeah. Look what we get for opening our mouths. That's what we get.
Yeah.
That would be Baseline Taphouse, but we can talk about some of the other food and beverage stuff. Most alcoholic beverages have gone up, maybe anywhere from 30 cents to $2.50. Most, bottled water went up by a quarter.
Right.
So that takes it from, where was it on average?
$3.50 to $3.75.
Wow.
Fountain drinks went from $3.99 to $4.29.
That's wild.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It even hit some of the places that are owned by Disney that aren't in Disney World. So like Jock Lindsay's Hanger Bar got some increases. On quick service, what we're seeing here on some of the reports, anywhere from 30 cents to $1 went up. So for instance, some examples that, for instance, WDW News Today gives, the kids' Power Pack meals that used to be $6.19 are now $6.79.
Yeah.
So honestly, those kind of things, yes, they're expensive. Doesn't seem that egregious compared to like what's happening at the grocery store, where I look at a gallon of milk and I'm like, what?
Right. Yeah. More than a gallon of gas, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of those things that you hear going up, and they're not actually changing the dollar side, right?
Yeah.
Disney's going to be benefiting more from those than it is the people going to be shocked by, because they won't even notice it hardly. Whenever you go, whenever you go from 15 cents, $6.15 to $6.75, a 60 cents increase, right. But it's not as noticeable as if you went from, let's just say, $6.50 to $7.10. They notice they notice when the dollar changes.
Right. Sticker shock.
Well, here's a table service one that was listed on this article. Be Our Guest.
Oh, Lord.
Lunch went from $62 for an adult to $67 for an adult.
That is highway robbery.
The kids went.
I wouldn't have paid it before, and I won't pay it after.
That is what?
So the kitchen sink sundae at Beaches and Cream went up. Would anybody like to guess the price of the kitchen sink sundae at the Beaches and Cream soda shop?
What does it say? What the price was? Can you tell us what it was?
I know what it was. I know it went up by $1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It's been a minute.
It is $36.
What? Holy God.
Well, it is all the highest ice cream they have. So.
Right. And you get to take a souvenir kitchen sink home, right?
And a full can of whipped cream.
Do they still have those?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've never ordered one. I've always just seen it. But
right. Well, $36. I would rather spend that on tequila at La Cava, which, by the way, I didn't see price increases there. Do I dare say that? I didn't notice anything different at La Cava, but it's already kind of expensive anyway.
Yeah, they're already kind of expensive. I will say it wasn't La Cava, but a Weenie on Twitter stopped by Bar Riva.
Oh, I saw that too.
And it went up. It went up too. So
yeah, that margarita was like $18 or something, wasn't it? Like something ridiculous. I'm like, what?
$16.50 for the margaritas.
Oh, I thought it was more than that. But even still, it was like 14, wasn't it, or something? Not that long ago.
Yeah.
So, good Lord.
Going up on alcohol is something places can do because they can.
People will still drink. Yeah, people will still drink.
They can.
Easy to do.
Some people will.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Right. I'm just saying some people will. It's one of those recession-proof items, pretty much. But continue.
So that's just food and drink. That's food and drink. In addition, other things went up. Now let's get into some of the more egregious things.
That's where you got your wish. Oh, wow.
Tickets are up. Disneyland, Disney California Adventure, mostly up 8 to 9%. One-day ticket prices now range from $104 to $179. $179 to go for a day at Disney's California Adventure. Think about that.
Ooh, that's bad.
Didn't we see someone tweet almost like a
deal in
worst
America.
case scenario type deal? It was like $299 for a day there or something. Like
It was Park
yeah,
Hopper.
yeah, no.
Highest price, yeah.
Yeah, it was 1 day Tier 6 Park Hopper ticket with Genie Plus service for January 27th. That was $269 a ticket, plus a standard parking for $30 for a grand total of $299 for a day at Disney.
For one person.
One day, one person.
Yikes.
I'm sorry, but I can find better ways to spend my money. That's just the way I see it. I mean, even though I love the parks, I still find better way to spend my money.
Here's what they're gonna say, right? Like, go to a sporting event or a concert these days. Like, you're gonna spend a ton of money for a lot less time, right?
Well, right. If you buy anything off Ticketmaster, it's like, $100 ticket. Fees and everything later, it is $300.
Okay, but
Ticketmaster is the worst.
On this same tweet, I could have sworn that I saw someone post something about getting like courtside Laker tickets for like $500. So, I mean, not that much more is what they were trying to say.
I paid $3,000 for these tickets. I'll go ahead and throw a 3-pointer if I want. I forgot how. Anyway, that was a line from Entourage many years ago.
But you get what I'm saying, though. I mean, I still wouldn't pay $500 for a courtside seat at the Lakers. I mean, but you some people would still. But I think their comparison was it's only $200 more for something like that. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, those aren't the only things that went up. Maybe the one I wanted to say for last is the one that maybe irritates me the most. Genie Plus and individual lightning lanes have gone up. So it used to be $15 a day for Genie Plus at Disney World, and what I believe it was $20 a day at Disneyland, but that included PhotoPass for the day, if I recall. It has now gone up. It is now a variable rate price. At Disney World, at least, it can be anywhere from $15 to $22 a day. On the first day this was implemented, it was $20 a day on a Wednesday.
Ugh.
A Wednesday. In the middle of October. So it's going to be $20+. And the individual lightning lanes went up. So Rise of the Resistance debuted at Disneyland at $25 a person and $20 a person at Disney World for the individual lightning lane. Rise is good, but you pay $300 to get into the park. Okay?
Yeah. And $12.50 for a charcuterie board. And then I'm going to pay another $25 a person for Rise? No. Ain't happening.
But to have Genie Plus go up by 33% plus, and it already sucks? Like, I guess they're just trying to get fewer people to buy it? I don't know. What is the play there?
No, they're just trying to see how far they can push it because, all the stories and everything suggest that it's been selling. So I was like, well, if it's selling at this price, then maybe they'll buy it at this price. Yeah.
Push it real good. That's what they're doing.
Pretty much.
Push it. Yeah. That's what they're doing.
But what was it? There was a story, I forgot. It was within the recents. Like, it says, some kind of poll that says 70% of guests that purchased Disney Genie Plus intend to purchase it again. So I don't know if that's really a good number, seeing as how they were getting about 50% overall, and then only 70% of the 50% is willing to do it again. So I don't know if that's good or bad. But
yeah,
do they nearly need them to do it again, though? They got their money. Just bring a new sucker in.
But, well, Adam, let's go to the example of your friend, right? I mean, they said how much they would pay for it, right? And, of course, they're not there all the time, but...
Gary, my friend. Yeah. I'll call him out. I don't know if he listens at all, but he was like, I'd pay $100. He was like, because it was $15 a day. He was like, $15 a day? I'd pay $100 for this.
Say, is your friend's Paul McCartney?
Yeah. He's from Liverpool, Yes.
That's what you just sounded like.
Yeah.
Of course, 100 is nothing to Paul, but,
100? I got to get back. Yeah.
But, yeah, my point is, I think that there's a lot of people that vacation there that still see it as a good value, unfortunately.
Right.
So.
Or they feel they obligated to take their kids. And I've heard of more people than ever saying they're going to Disney World.
Oh yeah.
Post-COVID than before. I feel like pre-COVID, they were trying to attract people there. They were trying to do stuff, but now everybody's like, well, I don't know if I want to go out of the country yet, or maybe not every country's open. It seems like that's the let's go to Disney World.
I've just noticed it's kind of a bit of a fad now. It's like an in thing to do to take your family to Disney World.
Do we have the vloggers to thank for that?
I don't know.
They're a dime a dozen these days.
Truthfully, the vloggers have actually made my desire probably less, because it's like before, if I wanted to just see something new, I had to actually go. And now I don't. I mean, I can, if I just want to see what the park looks like, I can just watch 4K WDW, right? One of his, it calls all over the park. If I just want to see what the park looks like currently, I'm like, I just watch his video.
Yeah.
But I didn't used to have that option. So if anything, that's kind of I'm just taking it from the perspective of it actually makes my desire to go a little less, because I'm like, well, I've already done this, I've already done that. Maybe I should wait a little while. I mean,
Yeah. Do we think, though, I was thinking about this the other day, that Disneyland is really what started all this because of the too many annual pass holders, too many people that came and didn't spend enough money? I feel like they're bleeding this strategy for Disneyland over into Disney World.
No, they're actually doing a similar strategy. It's just more obvious now to what they did all along. They were trying to thin the crowds out, because one of the surveys always said, too crowded, right?
Yeah.
So they're trying to thin the crowds out through pricing.
Well, I mean, they've always tried to do that, but I think they also are discouraging annual pass holders by, cutting benefits, stop selling them completely.
Right.
And, discouraging them from coming.
It's always going to be, let's see how far we can push the price before it breaks, and then the Disney crack addicts are still going to do it, even if they have to mortgage their house. So, and this is coming from somebody who actually loves Disney and loves the parks. But I'm reaching a point where I'm just not willing to pay that much to go often. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I still want to go a lot, but I don't know. They keep turning me off with all the crazy price.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And availability is really hard to find. And then they're punishing the people who go on the weekends, which that's kind of what I did a lot.
That's why I made the analogy to the crack addict. They'll pay whatever it takes to get their fix.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'll do. You're welcome, Chapek.
Yeah, I know, right?
So with all this talk, a lot of blame, of course, being laid at Chapek's feet, but I think it's finally getting a little bit of heat.
Tomorrow.
Headed towards Tomorrow, Kim Potrock, Jeff Vale. They're all... that's where these decisions are being made. They're just like, okay, guys, where can we squeeze? Where can we up everything? And we see it.
You think they're still trying to make up for COVID? No, not at this point. Surely they're back on track, right?
They're trying to squeeze the cash cow that is the parks to pay for everything else they're doing.
I guess so.
It's a company.
Which is funny, because that's totally backwards of what they used to do.
Parks just print money. Just print it.
Like the movies were the money makers, right? And the parks were kind of like a commodity, I guess. I mean, I don't know. But that's how it was.
So this is what I did. I said, okay, this inspired me. A lot of people talking about, okay, why don't you just go overseas to Disney? Because their parks are the tickets are way cheaper overseas, right?
Yeah.
So I went ahead before the show and I priced out 3 trips, all at the same time, just to go through it. And you can debate whether or not I picked a fair comparison or not. But I assumed I wanted to stay at nice accommodations, so one of the top tier accommodations. Assumed I'm not a pass holder, and I assumed I'm flying out of Atlanta to go to each of these places. Okay? Mm-hmm. This is just a cursory look. Tickets and a hotel plus flights. All right? Yeah. I looked for a June 11th through the 17th, 2023 trip. Starting at Disney World, I did 7-day tickets with park hoppers, okay, for all of these. Flights, and I chose to stay at the Riviera Hotel paying cash. It was between that and the Grand Floridian. We're going to stay at nice accommodations. So tickets and hotel, June 11th through the 17th, For at the Riviera, not including flights, would you like to guess the price?
I don't know.
Deluxe Studio Standard View.
Yeah.
7-day tickets with park hoppers, $6,597.30.
That's way cheaper than I thought.
That's for 2 adults and 1 child, okay? And
Okay.
flights out of Atlanta right now are $1,444. So that is, we go to Disney World, we do that trip, that's $8,041.30. So $8,000, right? That's where we're at
Yeah.
for Disney World.
Okay, $8,000. Okay.
$8,000. Okay. Would you pick that or this next option? Disneyland Hotel, same time frame. Tickets, park hopper, Genie Plus, all included.
Okay.
You want to guess the tickets and hotel price for that? 2 adults, 1 kid.
I'm gonna go with like $7,000.
Including tickets. And you said without Genie Plus?
It has Genie Plus and park hoppers.
It has Genie Plus.
For
Okay.
3 people though.
3 people, Genie Plus, park hoppers. I'm going to go $7,000.
That's what I said.
It is lower than the Riviera package. It is $5,929.37. And you can get flights out of Atlanta for that trip for $1,732. So actually, Disneyland for that time frame, staying at the Disneyland Hotel, is $7,661.37. It is almost $400 cheaper than staying at the Riviera at Disney World.
Well, Disneyland Hotel is a bucket list item of mine. So
Yeah, I'd love to stay there.
just to, it's the classic, right? It's the even though it's been through some changes, but
So I think obviously you would pick the Disneyland Hotel as your trip then.
So far,
between
yes.
those two.
So far, I would, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Now, Disneyland Paris,
Yeah.
same time frame. Tickets, 7 days, June 11th through
That's going to be
17th.
cheaper than the other 2, I bet, ticket-wise.
Plus a hotel, staying at the Marvel Hotel.
Okay. So, not their flagship. Okay.
Well, the flagship wasn't available.
Okay.
But this is a high-star hotel, the Marvel, right?
I'm going to say like $5,000. I don't know.
$4,400.
Wow. See?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Flights right now, it's still early. They could probably go down, or $5,000. That's the only thing that makes it
Right.
higher. So at the current prices, $9,433. So for only $1,400 more than Disney World, a week in
Go
Paris.
to Paris. A week. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's crazy. I wouldn't want to spend 7 days at those parks though, but still.
No, but imagine you knock that down to half of that and spend a few days at the parks and the rest just in Paris.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably the same price as going to the Riviera.
That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, if you can just find flights that aren't crazy, it would be a much better deal than anything in the States.
Well, it's also Disneyland Paris, so
I mean, sure, but it's gorgeous park. I mean, they still have a lot of good stuff there.
well, I didn't mean like what we think of it. I just meant it has an attendance issue.
Yeah. But still, I mean, it would be less crowded overall. That's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
They still have a lot of good stuff there, so I don't know. I would go back there and do it.
Well, the international park that I would pick first
Tokyo.
to go.
That's what everybody would pick.
We couldn't get a package for it, I don't think, right?
No, because we can only book into April at this point for
Yeah.
Tokyo, I think. And you can only get two nights there, max.
That's crazy.
So
Can
I'm
you hotel hop? Or like, can you
Even-
just hop around? I don't know.
I was gonna say, are they even taking out of out of country guests if they're doing 2 nights?
I don't know. I think they just started. But
Could we even get to like Hong Kong or Shanghai at this point? I don't
You
even
might
know.
get locked down and never get to leave because
Right.
there's zero tolerance for COVID up there.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, it would be risky. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. That's a bucket list for an ABD trip, is doing the 2 parks in China. That would be cool.
Here's the deal. What this says is that, wow, the price, like obviously I could go to Disney World for cheaper, not staying at Riviera. We could go to Disneyland for cheaper, not staying at the Disneyland Hotel.
Yeah.
But say you're that family that is pricing out a big once in a lifetime trip. We're going to go all out. Disney is expensive. It's
Yep.
in the States, and like going out of country Disney is almost cheaper.
Yeah.
To fly, 9, 12 hours, 13 hours, whatever it is.
So see there, Chapek, maybe that family of 5 from Denver should consider going abroad to one of your other parks.
Shoot, you could probably spend a week at Aulani for less than going to Disneyland.
Well, they're trying to give it away over there, aren't they? I mean,
It's not cheap as far as
time period
accommodations, but
no. But I mean, as far
tickets.
as Aulani goes,
yeah,
they're giving 30% to pass holders coming up.
Yeah, and I think
recently.
Disney Visa was getting a good rate too next year.
You can't combine the two, though. I'd be, of course, if they could, then you'd be gone, right?
Yeah, I would already be
If
there.
I wanted to go to Aulani for that week with that same family, right?
Yeah.
Pay cash.
I bet you could do it for.
We'll take the cheapest room they offer.
But what does that include?
I mean, it would just be staying there, really, and then.
But that's all you need?
Flights to get there. I mean, that's really all you need. I mean, I love just hanging out there.
Well, Adam, I mean, you've been there, so, and we've probably covered this on the show. I don't remember, but like there were stuff there that was upcharge, right? I mean, stuff that you would do extra, or
well, the restaurants and such, yeah.
Oh, I thought there were activities that were an upcharge.
No, I don't think so. I don't think Auntie's Beach House costs anything. Although my kid was too young to do it, but I think it's included.
Okay. I was just thinking there would be stuff like almost like excursions.
Yeah. Well, the spa. I mean, anything else you do, of course. We paid for that luau, but now they have their own anyway.
Hotel only cheapest one for that week is $5,442, and then you're looking at right now $4,800 in flights. So you're going over $10,000. It's the most expensive of the choices to go to Aulani.
Unless you can get that secret underground tunnel to Hawaii.
But was that including that discount, or no? That discount ended in April, I think.
That's without the discount.
Yeah, the discount was through April. It ended, so it might be.
I guess that went over everybody's head.
No, sorry, I missed it. What did you say?
No, I said unless you take that secret underground tunnel to Hawaii.
Oh, is there one?
I don't know. There could be one.
It's not a secret if he tells us.
If it's known, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Is it a tunnel that cannot be found except by those
that already know where it is? Yes.
Yeah.
Captain Barbosa. Anyway. Continue.
Price a Disney cruise to... actually, those aren't available yet, are they? The Pacific ones? Because did you see the itineraries for those? The minimum is like 10 days or something, or 9 days.
It would be expensive.
Yeah, those are going to be like... way more than
it still might be less than Aulani though.
It's possible, but
that week at Aulani on DVC I could get for 156 points. So,
there you go. I mean,
so you could get it
like a whole year's worth of points.
It would be cheaper for you,
almost.
Anyways, all right. So let's wrap up the pricing stories. We've kind of saw this coming. What's y'all's final thoughts on this? Anything we haven't said that we want to say other than that we're upset, and we'll probably still keep going and keep paying it, but we're still upset?
Well, in my case, I'll probably pay it, but the question is, how often will I pay it?
Yeah.
More or less. I got to be honest, it makes me look at places that I haven't been in a while, like right across the pond, like right across I-4.
Universal.
Yeah. And see what kind of... rooms that they have for lower prices.
Yeah.
And my kids are almost in a range where they can ride more of the stuff. So there's probably a trip there in the future, especially when Nintendo World comes in.
Right. What do we think Disney's strategy is here? Like, when this Epic Universe opens, it's going to draw a ton of families to it because of the Nintendo World and
initially
the other things. So what the heck? Like, is there a point to wring as much money as they can out of people now, and then 5 years from now, like, they'll do something different? Like, what?
I feel like Disney is going to rely on the loyalist and just take whatever hit may come, and then they'll prepare for the future.
They'll just adjust accordingly when this dries up, whenever this...
Pretty much. That's kind of how they're...
strategy.
I'm sure that's how they're looking at it. I don't know. I mean, I got to be honest. I kind of think the strategy that Universal has been taking has actually been a pretty good one. It's been a very conservative but steady, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Type strategy. So
they're just hanging back and letting Disney implode here.
In a way. I mean, they're kind of just watching. I mean, they're just doing their thing. Like, they're not reacting to anything Disney does, per se, but they're doing what they do.
Just quietly building away until they open up and really put a dent in Disney's business.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the things in the surveys and stuff, Disney is, you know, somewhat complicated, I guess, to the average person especially.
Yeah.
As far as what you have to do.
Yeah. Maybe we'll find that out in a minute in the trip report. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say, but we always know there's a way to game it. But again, to the average person, if it looks too complicated, they're going to take less complicated in a lot of cases. So.
Yeah, I talked to somebody who, like through a work thing, that they were asking me about it. And they said, I didn't know you had to buy the magic lamp thing. And, like, you had to, like, pick your rides. And you had to make a reservation. Like, because they hadn't been in forever, but he called it the magic lamp.
You don't have to, but except for the reservation part. You don't have to do all that other stuff, but you could end up waiting significantly longer.
Yeah.
So.
But the last time they were there, it had been Fast Pass and everything was included, so you think, oh, well, to do that, I had to... Now, to have the same experience is like $100 more a day. Whatever. Anyways, we've... That's a horse that we would wish was dead that we keep beating, but it just Chapek's gonna keep it reanimated and living forever.
As long as there are people who remember when it was free, it's always going to be the discussion is going to be around. So
they're trying to discourage us from showing up and talking to the people who haven't been in forever.
Was it always this expensive? I don't know.
Right.
All right, well, let's see. Any other news stories besides the prices? I think you mentioned before the show, Adam. We'll bring it up. Monsieur Paul coming back, which is exciting. I can't wait to see what the price is going to be there, though.
By the way, Monsieur Paul's coming back with a prefix menu, Jason. I don't know if that has an effect on you.
I think I don't mind a prefix menu. It's fine.
Okay. Fantasmic is coming back in November. Is that going to be an upcharge too to see Fantasmic?
Well, if it is, it's one I definitely want. I definitely want outtake.
An extra $50 per person to see Fantasmic.
I don't take it for free, much less for an extra charge. So
maybe they'll make that an individual lightning lane.
I take that back. I would probably do it at least one more time just so I could have my kids see it because they haven't seen it. The last time I saw it was before kids. It was BK. Before kids, so
BK,
yeah, not Burger King.
Okay, have it your way.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, but they could be. I would.
They could be.
Hey, we will take your money. I'm sure you shall have a nice little sponsorship.
Yeah, we do. Did you know you get free refills at Burger King? Look.
Yeah, right. Is there anywhere you don't get that now?
No, I don't. Anyway.
Anyways, anything else one of y'all wanted to bring up? Because that's really what I saw.
Yeah, I think the stuff that everybody was talking about was price increases, so that's pretty much what we did. I can't think of anything that wasn't.
Speaking of price increases, did you guys see how much it costs to make a lightsaber these days?
$1 million.
Don't even want to know.
$250 now for Savi's workshop. Wow. When I did mine, it was less. It was sub 200.
I haven't done that yet.
Yeah,
I want to go for one reason though. The only one that appeals to me is the Luke one from Return of the Jedi. That's the one that appeals to me the most.
Right.
So that's the only one I really care about. If I was gonna get one, that would be the one.
Well, I'm talking about the hand built ones, the experience you get at Savi's workshop, not the Dakondars.
Yeah, but you can make the same one, right? If you wanted to.
Well, not cool. You can't do the same hilt as like Luke's or whatever. You have to buy the hilt at.
Screw that.
You have to go buy that at Dakondars.
Hasn't that whole building a lightsaber experience kind of died down as well. I mean, I guess there's still a lot of people doing it.
That's why they raised the price, I guess. But yeah,
Died down, so they raised the price.
$250 now for a dang lightsaber.
Did they raise the price in Ogas? That one.
Ugh. I can't stand Ogas anyway. Anymore. All right, sorry.
Continue. Let's move along. There's a lot we could do here. There's a lot we can unpack there, but let's just move along.
Yeah.
Let's move it along. So,
however, talking about that right quick, we do need to do an episode that's like revisiting Galaxy's Edge like 3 or 4 years later whenever we decide to do it.
That's a good point.
So,
yeah, we could revisit some things like that, yeah.
Anyway.
What does it feel like 3 years later?
Yeah.
Not much. Not much different. Nothing improved.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Let's go on. It feels like we've done a few trip reports, and I've done 2 in a row, but I'm here. I'm ready to talk about another trip to Disney. This time it was my wife and my son on a DVC trip. My son's best friend at school happened to also be down. It was their fall break. And my son had no idea that his best friend was going to be there. And so they were not staying with us, but we decided to meet up with them for one day. And it ended up being 2 because after the first day, at the middle of the first day, we were like, let's get a ticket for tomorrow. And so they did, and I'll talk about how they went about that. But I went down on a Thursday and came back on Sunday. So 3 nights. We had 2 nights at the Riviera in a 1-bedroom villa standard view, and 1 night at Kidani Village in a 1-bedroom villa standard view. I was able to secure this again within a week or 2 of the trip, so I did not book this very long ago. Just trolling the DVC website, I was able to pick these up. Was very happy to get Riviera. So yeah, let's start there. The room was ready right before we got there. I got a 5th floor room facing towards the parking lot where as I was sitting out on my balcony, I had a straight clear view of Spaceship Earth and the Guardians building. If you just looked out the balcony and to the left, you could see directly into World Showcase, and you were able to see Harmonious super clear. You could see basically all of Harmonious directly from the balcony. So despite it being a standard view at Riviera has, in some cases, a better view if you want to look into the parks, because the preferred views face the other direction towards Caribbean Beach, show you the water, all of that. So I was pretty happy with that view, pretty excited.
In order to see Epcot, don't you really have to be kind of on the left?
I was on the left side, yeah.
Yeah, if you're facing it from the... Well,
when you're facing out, when I was facing out of the building, I was towards the left. If you're facing towards the building, it was towards the right.
Towards the right, yeah. That's the only way I could think you would possibly have that view. That's also parking lot. That's what I'm getting at. So
that's where I usually parked when I would go there for dinner or something. Would be right in front of that.
Yep. So it was a great view. Beautiful. Love that resort. Just love it.
Was there an issue at all with the studio size, I guess? Because I know some of those studios are...
This is a 1-bedroom.
Oh, it was a 1-bedroom. Sorry, I thought you had a studio. My bad.
Yep, I was able to get 1-bedroom villas. So I had the pull-down Murphy bed, the king-size bed, the 1 big bedroom, the full kitchen. I packed food to cook for breakfast and such. So we arrived probably around 5 o'clock-ish. Got into our room, got settled pretty quick, and decided to go over to Epcot because we had Guardians, of course. And that was the only thing we rode that night. And wonderful, wonderful. One Way or Another was the song that I got.
That was your jam for a while. You kept getting that one.
Yeah, I did. I knew it was going to be a busier weekend because, we got over to Guardians maybe around 7 because we did food and wine booths. We went in of course, we took the Skyliner over. We went in an International Gateway, went to the left, got Canada, so got the Le Cellier steak, went to I really liked the Impossible meatballs at the the vegan booth. That was really good. I believe we got something at Hawaii. I don't remember. We got a few. We got several things. Made our way over. I stopped by the new Creations shop, right? And picked myself up a Epcot 40 Magic Band Plus, because I knew my son really liked the statues and such, so I was like, I'm going to get a Magic Band Plus, I'm going to get him one. At that shop, all they had was the Epcot 40, so he didn't want that one. So if you want a Magic Band Plus and you want to look at the selection at Epcot, you actually have to go up to essentially the camera center.
Oh, right,
place,
okay.
Right?
All the way
so
up to Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, that's where they sell them, which I ended up going later and getting him one. He wasn't with me. I had him look on the Shop Disney website, and he wanted the Darth Vader one. And while he was eating food after Guardians, I went and ran up there and bought it for him and came back. But price wasn't too bad because I got 30% off of those Magic Band Pluses because of the current pass holder discount.
Right, okay. Do they come fully charged, or do you have to charge them?
No, they were like half charged. But it was, what was it? I mean, it was like 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, so you just charged it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we go to Guardians. I know it was going to be more crowded than just a few weeks ago because it was, 7 o'clock at night, and the line was out beyond where you tap in.
Yeah, you said it was full.
It was full. We rode, we got out, ate at Connections. I got him a Magic Band Plus, and then we started walking back out, and Harmonious is going off, and we didn't stop to just watch it. We sort of walked through World Showcase again as we watched it, but my son was just, as soon as we started to get close to World Showcase, our Magic Bands lit up and were in sync with the show.
Nice.
And he loved that. He loved it. He was like holding his up in the sky and jamming and dancing.
Okay.
And so it was a hit.
Okay.
And for the most part, it stayed lit. Like, and the colors were matching what was showing. I thought it was pretty cool.
Do you have to be near it before it starts?
Yeah, we were walking up the pathway towards World Showcase. We were probably halfway up that, that long pathway where, I don't know what you call that goes from Future World into World Showcase. Basically the main path. Halfway up that, our Magic Bands vibrated and started lighting up.
Okay. So they put a geofence around that lagoon area there. Okay.
Yeah, and they turned off. We walked out. About the time we left the tap styles in International Gateway is when they stopped syncing with the show.
So basically as soon as you walked out.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right, that's pretty impressive that they have it figured out.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty cool. Rode the Skyliner back, got settled in, bought a bottle of wine from the store, which I'm curious to see how much they raised the prices on this, but like a Chianti Disney special bottle we've gotten before from Rivera.
Yeah,
it was only $17.
Right, for a bottle, versus you'd buy a glass of that somewhere in some places.
Hey, it's better to buy it yourself, right, than go to a bar or a restaurant and get it from them, have them do it for you, I guess, right?
So anyways, it was a good deal. We sat down, went to bed. Overall, good deal. Set an alarm to get up, I think, at 6 the next morning, which is what I did. I got up at 6. Bought Genie Plus for the day. We were going to meet our friends at Magic Kingdom. Our son didn't know that he was meeting them, but I bought Genie Plus for everybody. So this day, it was his friend and his friend's mom. The dad did not come that day. The dad ended up coming the next day. He got a little FOMO missing this first day, I think.
So did they stay on property as well, I'm assuming?
No, they were staying somewhere else. They were doing other stuff. They were not. They had just bought day tickets. They were not on property.
Good thing they bought those day tickets before this week. But yeah.
Yeah, really.
I bought Genie Plus, and it was Magic Kingdom Day. I had a strategy. I knew they wanted to do Seven Doors Mine Train, so I knew I was going to buy individual Lightning Lane, right? So right at the time of 7 a.m., bought the Seven Doors Mine Train individual Lightning Lane and just went tap, 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 and purchased it, right? And then I went and got the Genie Plus, and I went for Big Thunder first.
Any particular reason why?
I thought they wanted to do some coasters.
Oh, okay. I see.
Jungle Cruise was too far out. Peter Pan was too far out. Big Thunder looked like that would probably work out well right out, as after we got to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Because Seven Dwarfs Mine Train was like 9:05 to 10:05 a.m. is what I bought.
Okay.
I think something like that. And the park opened at maybe 8, and we could have gotten in at 7:30. Anyways, they were going to arrive at our hotel at 8. So I was trying to stack all this out, right? Figure out the exact timing and estimate everything and how long it was going to take us to get from place to place, right?
Yeah.
I cooked a nice breakfast. Pancakes, sausage, eggs. It's one of the best parts about staying at AVC. You can really just get to cooking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say the second day I made biscuits from scratch. Buttermilk biscuits from scratch in the room. That was kind of fun. So we go to the parks. They get to our hotel first. Kid gets surprised, super excited. His best friend's there. First, he was being slow to get out of bed. Now, all of a sudden, he wants to get ready. He's ready to go to the parks, right? This is one of the few times he never even asked for a stroller. And he was so excited to have his friend there and show off Disney and all that. It was so cool. So we went over to the Magic Kingdom, tapped in. It was not very crowded because it was a party day. So it was going to close at 6 p.m. So a lot of people didn't choose to go there. But what was weird is one of the reasons that the dad didn't go is at first he wasn't planning on going to the parks that day because he's not an early person. He was like, I probably won't go. You guys just go, right? And then he's like, oh, well, our friends are there. I want to go. I want to do this. No park reservations. So it was technically sold out, but not that crowded.
Interesting.
So we go in, we turn the corner, and there's a Main Street vehicle right there.
Yes, I saw this picture.
Loading. We hop on. It was the red car. Pulling around the corner was the omnibus. The trolley was out with the horses on it. I was like, oh my gosh, we have to do this. And everybody's like, oh, okay. Like, we hop on. There's some other couple on there that's like, yeah, we grew up going to Disneyland. We love the Main Street vehicles. So we ride up. Apparently my wife had never done a Main Street vehicle. And she's like, this is amazing. This is the best way to get into the park. Like, this is the best way to go up Main Street. Like, just like sitting in the car, just honking at people. Like, get out of my way.
How long has it been since you did one? It was 2019?
It's pre-COVID, yeah.
Your challenge day?
It was probably the completion, right?
Your September day. Anyway.
That was honestly one of my highlights of the day. And we had a good Magic Kingdom day. But being able to ride the Main Street vehicle up Main Street was just awesome. Right?
Yeah. Always.
So it drops us off right near where we need to be for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Okay.
We go over to do Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and our friends' individual lightning lanes don't work. And I realized later what I did wrong. So I was staying at a resort hotel. I was allowed to purchase an individual lightning lane starting at 7 a.m.
Oh, yeah, they can't because they're off-site.
Can't.
Yep, I ran
and
into
all
that.
I did was just click, click, click because I was just going fast, and I know it was supposed to just add everybody. And I said, at the time I didn't realize this even. I realized this later, like the next day. But I was like, why don't they have lightning lanes? So I sent them off, and they rode Pooh while I went around and found a guest experience tent. And I was like, I screwed up. I only bought 3. Can we get these 2 folks on? I'll pay if we need to. What can we do? I'll figure it out if we can't. Can you take care of me? They're like, well, this is technically a paid experience, and we can't guarantee this. And, this is a one-time thing, but we'll add them on for you, free of charge.
Oh, wow.
So they added them on.
Nice.
And so then by the time they got off Pooh, we were all set. Actually, it was all set, and they were like in the front of the line for Pooh, and then they get off, and then we're able to get on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So,
nice.
You could say, I guess we got 40% off on the individual lightning lanes. I don't know if they pulled my account up on the iPad, and they're like, oh yeah, this sucker. We'll give him 2. Yeah. Whatever, it's fine.
He'll make up for it in other ways.
But Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, nothing to write home about, really, right?
Yeah, we've said that for years.
Absolutely not.
We've said that for years.
But it's been, every time I do it, I have this, like, hope
That'll be good. I mean,
especially when you pay money to
Right.
ride it. Like, the only reason I rode it is because we were with these folks, and I'm like, well, I guess we're gonna have to ride this. I'm gonna have to suck it up and pay the dollars for it.
how much was it again? You said you paid per person for the 3 you did
I
get?
say it was like 11 or something per person.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready for Tron because Tron will actually be worth the money because it's new and it'll be fun and exciting. But Seven Mine Train is not worth paying for. None of the rides at Magic Kingdom right now are worth a individual.
I mean, I would have paid $11 for the vehicles.
Okay, well, that's you. You would pay that for the rafts too, probably.
All it took for Mine Train was me riding it back to back, and this is when it was free for Fast Pass because I used another Fast Pass. All it took was me riding it back to back to say,
this ain't worth it.
you know what? This is really not that good.
Right. Slinky's way better of the short coaster thing. Like, this is a dark ride and a coaster, but it's not a great coaster. It's like there's one okay drop and that's it. I mean, there's not much anything to it.
I take that back. I won't say it's not that good.
The theming is good inside the cave, but that's like 30 seconds.
I'll say it's overhyped.
Yeah.
Like, the wait is not worth the attraction. It's overhyped, which I guess that's kind of up to the person, right? But to me, it's overhyped.
But it's the most popular, and it's the newest, which it was open in 2014, and it's the newest ride at Magic Kingdom currently.
Is it the newest ride altogether?
Yeah. What's open since Mine Train in 2014? What's new? Nothing. That's the newest ride at Magic Kingdom right now.
Wow.
8 years old.
I didn't realize that. It has been 8 years since Magic Kingdom got a
That's
brand
when
new
they
attraction.
started working on Tron.
Yeah, right. I mean, basically. The
Have they even gotten an overhaul since then? I'm trying to think.
the railroad's going to
Not
feel
really.
like a new ride because it feels like I've never I can't remember riding it anymore.
People Mover got an overhaul.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, it felt so different.
Yeah, the Carousel of Progress is technically new because they put a new sweater on.
The Tomorrowland Speedway got shorter.
I didn't think of it that way, but you're right. Oh, well.
8 years.
I just haven't come to that realization until now.
Okay, so
Big Thunder.
we get off of that, and his friend, of course, wants a Magic Band Plus, right? Because Andrew's got one. So we have to hike it back over to the Emporium.
Disney knows this too, don't they? That's another thing. They realize like, if one kid has something, the other kids want it, no matter, even if they're not in the same group. Like, hey, that kid has something, I want that. Kids do that.
So he got the exact same one, the Darth Vader one, and then the mom was there and was trying to use Magic Mobile, and it was annoying her. So she just got a traditional, regular Magic Band, and so this way we didn't have to deal with Magic Mobile passes and all of that.
Yeah. Didn't love that experience. It's better with a band or a card, to be honest.
Now that I've activated a couple of Magic Band Pluses and helped activate a Magic Band, I realize now that I'm pretty sure I could have de-linked a few of the Magic Bands that I have and given them to them. I think that's possible. So I probably should have just done that.
I didn't think you could transfer one, but I didn't think you could.
I didn't de-link one, but I know that you can. I think you can transfer a Magic Band Plus to somebody.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know about that, but I didn't think you could do a Magic Band, the old school one.
Well, let me talk for a little bit about the Magic Band Plus since we're talking about everybody getting one.
Right.
So a little bit larger. There is the charger. It's a special charger, which, by the way, if you have it charging in your hotel room at Disney at night, it's going to maybe keep you awake because it's a slowly dimming and brightening light.
Wow. Okay.
As it's charging.
Does it vibrate and stuff too?
No,
Okay.
no, it doesn't. But
Okay.
Just asking for a friend.
yeah, it does have a light, and in the app you can configure it. You can change the colors, the default color it's going to come up with, and all that. Yeah. A couple of things we noticed is it seems at the end of each ride, somewhere near the exit, it would always light up. So it's sort of like lit up, like, congratulations, you did a ride.
This is tracking you, like, they did this.
Yeah, so it would light up. It would light up it would buzz and light up whenever we would get near one of the 50th statues. And then the kids would get excited. Where's the statue? Where's the statue? And it took us a while to figure out how to get the statues to do stuff. We were like holding the bands up, and we finally had to ask a cast member. You just wave at them.
Right. Yeah. I've heard you wave at them.
Yeah. You wave, and then they talk, or there's a song, or something happens. Right. So Andrew was doing this. The kid wanted it. So we schlep it back over to the Emporium.
Yep.
And then we have to walk all the way back up Main Street. I did do a mobile checkout with my phone, and it auto-applied the 30%. Did the same thing, actually, at Epcot. Yeah. So I didn't actually wait in line or anything. But the Emporium was empty. Like, it was not very crowded that day. And then we headed over to Big Thunder Mountain. Nice. So, rode that. Great ride. Nobody wanted to go on Splash with me. Right after Big Thunder, I picked up Pirates. So we went and did Pirates.
Yes, of course.
Yes. We then did Standby for Small World. Yeah. The mom of the other kid said it was one of her favorite rides. She wanted to do Small World. They had been before. They just don't go very often.
No evac
for any
this time, man?
No evac, thankfully.
On that.
And then we had lunch at Columbia Harbor House. I had the special 50th anniversary fish sandwich, which was pretty good. And then did Haunted Mansion. And Haunted Mansion needs some maintenance. Every time I've ridden Haunted Mansion, even going back to, of course, our challenge, it breaks down it stops 6 or 7 times a ride. Right?
Yeah.
Playful spooks have interrupted your ride at least 7 times a ride.
But again, I think, isn't that mostly
loading
handicap? Yeah, I don't think they can change.
I mean, it's not necessarily every time that happens, I don't think, but yeah. Or it could also be people who are have just slower getting on. They have to stop it.
Right. It's not stopped for the amount of time that you would expect just for the handicap loading. It is.
Well, something going on, yeah. Something going on.
I, not too long ago, had video showing, because I was right there at the exit almost. I could see it around the corner.
Yeah.
And they were having to assist a guest getting off.
I saw that on Spaceship Earth, where at the exit, there was an older person who couldn't get out very quick, and they ran over and hit the button, and the whole ride stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So they got him out.
I really think that's a lot of what it is, because Haunted Mansion, think about it, the way it's set up, it's not very conducive.
It's a pretty short on-ramp and off-ramp, overall.
Mm-hmm.
And Spaceship Earth's really short on and off-ramp.
For someone who's potentially slower or disabled, it's going to be more difficult. You're going to need a little more time, and they're going to have to stop it for that reason, because there's no other alternative.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
True.
And understandable.
Well, 7 or 8 stops going through, but
right.
Is 7 or 8 stops more or less than what y'all had on the challenge night?
We had like 3 or 4, but it was long stops.
Yeah.
Ugh. Don't even want to think about it.
We actually did Haunted Mansion after we did the parade and we did Tom Sawyer Island. So we did lunch, parade, Tom Sawyer Island, then Haunted Mansion.
Okay. Way out of order.
Yeah. The kids loved Tom Sawyer Island, which the rafts are great. Great ride. Andrew was going around, the rafts are a ride. The rafts are a ride. So
where's he heard that before?
From me, obviously. They played a lot at Tom Sawyer Island. For a while, they didn't want to leave. They did the cave a few times. They did the barrel. We didn't make it all the way back to Fort Langhorne. We just sort of hung around at the first. We just hung around the first spot, the cave that sort of messes with your gravity sense. We did and then they played at the playground while we just sat around. I tried to buy a water bottle at where Aunt Polly's is, and it takes cash only, and it's so old it won't even eat your cash. Like, you can't even use those vending machines. But they need to update that. They need to put something in Aunt Polly's, just anything,
right?
Just like
popcorn
or something. I don't know. Put something there.
I mean, there's enough people over there. They would buy some food. Just sell something out of a cart. I mean,
what I saw happening at Aunt Polly's was there was a lady there on her laptop, like literally just like
working,
doing her job, And she's like, yeah, I'm over here at Aunt Polly's. I'm over on Tom Sawyer Island. Like, literally just on, like, her Mac, just doing her day. And I'm like, man, that would be a great place to work. I could work from there.
Except for the horn going off from the ferry boat every 5 seconds.
Aunt Polly's used to have a pretty good menu, from what I understand.
Yeah, they had, like,
I never ate there.
What was their signature? Was it a peanut butter and jelly or something? They had some kind of, like...
They had something.
Something like that was signature. Yeah, I forgot now.
Oh, well. Yeah, we do that. And the kids want to do space, of course. So I had a lightning lane for Space Mountain.
Now, did you use lightning lane for Haunted Mansion too, or just...
Yeah, I used lightning lane for Haunted Mansion, for Pirates, for Big Thunder, all of those rides. We used it for. We didn't need it for Tom Sawyer Island, surprisingly.
Didn't have any trouble pulling it for space for a decent time?
No, because I knew what we were spacing out. So as soon as we got on Haunted Mansion, I'm pulling the Space Mountain one, sort of timing it out, because I thought, we'll do People Mover before space.
Yeah, okay. Right. Give you some time.
So we make our way over there, and we take our sweet time. We stop and watch a little bit of the stage show, and we do a lot of waving at characters, and then we walk over to Tomorrowland, and we get in there, and the People Mover is stopped, and I see people getting evac'd, and I'm like, well, I guess we're not doing the People Mover. Right. And then we're like, well, we aren't quite time for our Space Mountain. How about let's just get in line for Astro Orbiters? Because they're like, let's do Astro Orbiters. And it just didn't move. Like, I hate that ride. We waited in line for like 25 minutes, and we had barely moved. And we're like, well, we can get on space now. So we just dipped. We got out of line. We did not ride Astro Orbiters.
That line can be awful, yeah.
Tap the lightning lane for Space Mountain. Walking in, and the people next to us that went in the standby line walked all the way to the merge point with us. Like, somehow, some way, at, I guess it was around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a party day. So right before the party guests start arriving. But after park hopping had started. So people had started to park hop out of Magic Kingdom. But I'm sure nobody was park hopping to Magic Kingdom.
Why would you?
Because they're not going to the party, right? Yeah. So somehow, no line at Space Mountain at this particular juncture. Like, zero line. I'm like, what? We should have even tried that Astro Orbiters. We should have been space. So we go up, we ride space one time. Kids love it. Like, let's ride it again. I'm like, sure. Yeah. By the time we get back in line, it wasn't all the way to the merge point, but it was literally like maybe 15 minutes. It was short. Yeah. And then after we got off, party guests, I think, had started to arrive or were starting to get in, so it was starting to build back up. But I was just stunned at how short that line was. So there seems to be a window, and I don't know if this is consistent. I have a sample size of 1, but on a Halloween party day, and this will probably be true when they do the Christmas parties too, from like park hopping time, 2 o'clock, until when they start letting the party guests in, where people are leaving Magic Kingdom to either go to another park or end their day, but nobody's coming in, so lines are just going to disappear.
Yeah. Wow.
So you got like a 2-hour window to maybe get a couple of good things in on a standby. Then the People Mover was working again, so we said, you know what, we want to ride the People Mover before we leave, right? Yeah. So we get on the People Mover. Great ride. We're going around. I'm looking at Tron. It stops. We say, oh, that's odd. Mm-hmm. So, okay, it's going to start again. So we go again for a little bit. Stops again. This time it stopped for me inside of Space Mountain, right? So we were in Space Mountain. It stopped. Well, it was in the dark. When it stopped, a few seconds later, the lights flick on in the People Mover, so you're not in the dark. And then when they say it's about to start again, the lights go out and then you start a little bit. It stopped again, and then it started again. And then it stopped one more time right as we were about to get to the Carousel of Progress. Mm-hmm. And then I noticed they were emptying the queue line. And then I noticed people talking and cast members huddling. And then I noticed cast members starting to walk out on the track. And that's when I started messaging y'all. Yep. I'm getting evac'd. Sweet. I was so excited. And the people we're with had no idea why this was so exciting. I'm like, we're going to get to walk the track.
Yeah. Nice.
So we walked the track, and we walked basically from Carousel of Progress up through Buzz Lightyear, right? So walked through that area. and
That's
walked
cool.
all the way up and then went down a stairwell that was not well maintained. It's like, oh, this is beat up and ugly and everything.
Wow.
And then we walked out a door, and we were right there at the Tomorrowland Terrace.
Oh, interesting.
So
that makes sense.
So they just dumped us out there. They gave us a free fast pass, and I noted that the free fast pass didn't include basically any good rides. And even though it was about 4:30 in the afternoon and the park closed at 6, it was only for that park day. So it was not even for the next day. So I had an hour and a half to use that fast pass or lightning
For
lane, whatever.
Did you actually use it for anything?
No, we did not use it because I had already gotten a lightning lane for Buzz Lightyear. The ladies did not want to do that, so I took the two boys. We did Buzz Lightyear. They went shopping because the other kid's dad was going to come the next day, so they went shopping, and she went to buy him a magic band for the next day. Which, let me talk a little bit about how they got their tickets for the next day. So they had a one-day ticket for two of them. And I remember before, if you had used up all of the days of your ticket, you used to not be able to add on extra days, right? Even once you had checked in for your last day, you can't add on extra days, right? Well, it's not that way anymore, because in the app, I was able to show her how to get to her tickets, and she was able to upgrade from a 1-day to a 2-day ticket in the app.
Okay.
So that was interesting. And we decided to book Epcot. They bought his ticket, got him there. We were all linked. We got Epcot for the next day. I moved my park reservations, etc. We ride Buzz, and then we walk out of the park. Party guests are just streaming in. I sent y'all a picture of the people standing at the tap styles to get in for the party. It was insanity. Insanity. We headed back to the Riviera. Then the dad meets us there at the Riviera because we eat at Primo Piatto.
Mm-hmm. Lovely.
And we spend some time letting the kids play on the lawn. I played some cornhole with him. The kids were playing, Andrew had brought his soccer ball, so we played, they were kicking the soccer ball around. They were playing games. And then, Andrew started trying to throw the soccer ball up in a tree. And I'm like, stop messing up all the we got to keep coming back here. Right. So
this is your home.
This is your home. Right. But we hung out for a while. It was very nice. And we were done, and, they left not that long after dinner, maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock. I don't know. And we called it a night, went back to our room. It's kind of nice. I sat out on the balcony until 9 and watched Harmonious from the balcony and went to bed.
Nice.
You know how I feel about Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
And how it can get really bad really quickly. Yeah. Everybody always melts down. But that was a very smooth, fun, enjoyable, and over by 5 p.m. Magic Kingdom Day.
So did it go up in your rankings?
Maybe it can go back up the rankings. Maybe it can go up in the rankings at some point.
No.
The key thing they're going to need to go up in the rankings is put a quick service that's worth eating at there.
Well, open the railroad and Tron, too.
Quick service is worth eating at.
Columbia Harbor House. I mean, it's just fried everything, so...
Yeah, Harbor House, you don't find it.
Columbia Harbor House was fried fish and fried chicken.
Pinocchio's okay.
Not writing home
too,
about that.
But yeah, nothing.
Have you ever done Sleepy Hollow?
Bagels Bills.
What do they have at Sleepy Hollow?
Waffle sandwiches, right?
Oh, no. I didn't do
really
that.
good.
No. I need something a little bit better. Like, to me, the best quick service food at Magic Kingdom is probably the egg rolls. So,
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say Cosmic Rays, but
yeah.
Or even better yet, the lunching pad.
No, there was that romantic night Adam and I had at, what's it called? The Lady in the Tramp restaurant.
Yeah, Tony's,
yeah. Adam and I shared a plate of spaghetti. It was marvelous.
Yeah, one noodle.
Casey's, that's quick service. Isn't that good enough for you?
I mean, Casey's standard fare, I feel like Casey's is great at the end of a Magic Kingdom day because if you've walked around that much,
it's open.
You're gonna eat a hot dog, and you're not gonna feel terrible about it. But like, there's no Epcot level food there. Just put it that way. There's no Satuli level food.
I think all the other parks actually have their Magic Kingdom beat as far as food, honestly.
Yeah, and even Hollywood Studios, I mean, ABC Commissary, I think, wipes the floor of all the Magic Kingdom
Well, they don't waste their time of making it the same level as those places you're talking about. So
it's just mass produced because they'll buy it. They're there. The most people
go here, aren't you?
All right, so that's Magic Kingdom Day. We have one other park day. We go to Epcot. They meet us at Riviera. We ride the Skyliner over, take them in. I'll go ahead and talk about my experience. Guardians hadn't been selling out of virtual queues very quickly.
So you thought you had time?
I thought I had time. I made the mistake of first booking Ratatouille, which I got the very first Ratatouille slot, 8:30. And then I went to book the virtual queue 2 seconds later, and it was... So I panicked. I realized I had to buy individual lightning lanes. So I bought 3 individual lightning lanes for Guardians for my party. And then once we got to Epcot, and it was, on our way to Epcot, and it opened on our, as we were on our way over, I bought 2 more because one of the people didn't, and it was for a different time. I was able to merge the times later. So if you have some people on site and they get a few, and then you get the other ones, like, it doesn't matter how late they are. If you've bought them all, they'll put them all on the same time to the earlier time.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So they'll merge it.
That's good that they would do that.
When we walked into the park, it was after it had opened. We had a lightning lane for Ratatouille. The line for Ratatouille at that point went to Morocco.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think that's where they realized that it was worth the $15. I mean, honestly, I guess if it was later, it wasn't that long, but they probably would have been like $20, $25. I mean, right? But we got to go right to the front. We went to Ratatouille. Great time. And then we kind of didn't have anything after that because once I tapped in, we knew we were only going to stay there till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was like, well, I'm not booking Test Track for the evening. I'll get a Frozen on a drop or something. So the next Fast Pass I had was for Soarin', but it was for a while. So we sort of just wandered an Empty World showcase, got over to Test Track, and the line was too long. So we ended up doing Mission Space Orange.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Nice thing to wake you up in the morning.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went over to Soarin'. They all love Soarin'. We did not get to do Living with the Land. I'm a little sad about that, but it is what it is. Then people are hungry, so I go over and get the Guardian stuff merged while they go over to Connections Cafe and they eat. So we ended up going to Connections twice on this trip, which is like becoming a spot for us, I guess.
Yeah.
So we eat at Connections, then we ride Spaceship Earth, then we go ride Guardians.
Yep.
Loved it. It's the kids' favorite ride. So got one way or another. Again.
Right.
I got one way or another on my last trip. 2 in a row. So that's 3 in a row I got the same song.
Mm-hmm.
So we rode that. They loved it. I was able to get a drop for Frozen. So we were able to go ride the Frozen ride. And then we went to the Japan store, bought a bunch of Pokemon cards, and then headed out. By the way, at the 1 o'clock virtual queue join, I was able to join the virtual queue for Guardians, but the return time was after we left the parks because they wanted to leave. The return time was going to be like 4:45 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So we go back, we ride the Skyliner over to Riviera. We have to move over to Animal Kingdom, Kidani Village. So we had already loaded up our car. We drove over to Kidani Village, checked into our room, changed clothes, and they went down and they spent maybe an hour at the pool with us at Kidani Village. So I was able to experience the Kidani Village pool, which is very nice, big for that place. It's very, very nice, very lush, lots of greenery. It's different. Didn't really go out on the Savannah view there, but the slide was pretty cool. I had the Frosé, which was really nice. It was a nice Frosé. Hung out with them, and once they left, we only stayed at the pool a little bit longer, and I was able to pull a last-second dining reservation at Boma. So we ran up, rushed, got ourselves ready, went and ate Boma. I hadn't eaten there since 2017. It's still delicious, still wonderful, full buffet. It's all back.
Good stuff, yeah.
Yeah, all back. It was great. And we're getting close, and I'm like, well, we have this virtual queue for Guardians. Why don't we go back to Epcot before it closes? We're like, can we make it? Can we not? My wife gets done, and she ate so much, she's like, I can't do it. Because we had walked over from Kidani Village to Jambo House. She's like, I can't walk back. I can't, we won't make it. So we ride the bus. We wait.
Oh, wow.
We get on the bus to Epcot. And I swear that bus driver, because heading to Epcot in the last hour of the day, nobody else was on the bus. He was booking it. We got over there.
Really?
No sweat. Parked, get off, We made it, I think Epcot closed at 9. We went to the bus stop at like 8. We were at the ride at 8:35. So it was not that bad.
Yeah. I predicted your song this time, though.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
I knew it. I could feel
Finally got something other than one way or another.
That's my favorite one.
Everybody rules the world.
Yeah. This is
everybody. Everybody wants to rule the world.
No, everybody.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
I knew you were going to get it.
Well, the only downside to arriving then is about the time you get off Guardians, because when we got off, it was like 9:36 or something. Everybody's leaving from Harmonious, so we're walking out with everybody else. But it wasn't that long of a wait for our bus back, and we got on that bus, headed back to Kidani, called it a night. My son was like, he didn't want to go to the parks the next day for whatever reason, so he's like, I just want to sleep. So we slept in. And the next morning, he didn't want to go to the parks. We had a reservation for Hollywood Studios, but we just said no, so we packed it up and left. Tried to go to Cracker Barrel for breakfast, but that place had like a line out to Morocco, so
okay, Morocco.
Ate at Panera.
You couldn't get an ADR?
Yeah, no. We could have gotten an ADR at the only place that was maybe tempting to me was the Wilderness Lodge breakfast, but didn't really want to drive all the way
Whispering Canyon?
Yeah, I didn't
that would have been
to
good.
drive all there. Yeah. So we just left and got on the road, got home at a reasonable hour. So yeah, that was the trip. It was overall a great trip. 2 Epcot days and a Magic Kingdom day. So, and 3 rides on Guardians.
The original parks.
Right. Wow. And DVC stay.
I know. I gotta say, those are the most beautiful hotel receipts I've ever seen. I sent y'all a picture of one. It's like your hotel receipt has arrived, and it's just blank.
Right. That's definitely the best kind of Disney to have. Very cool.
It was only blank because for some reason our charging to the room didn't work, so there was no way to charge to the room. And when you're on a DVC stay, parking's free, and the room's free. So,
well, already included.
No, free. It's free.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Excuse
me. You just have to sign up for it, and then
you just have to pay them money in advance, but it's still free.
Right. Anyway,
I mean, seeing the way that they're raising prices, I think I got in good. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't disagree with that part. I mean, if you're going to be there,
right.
I did not get your Holy Grail, Adam, because my son didn't want to go to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even bother asking. I knew you didn't go there, so.
That's the only place. That's where the Holy Grail is.
Well, I looked. There was a small Indiana Jones section at the Pirates of the Caribbean shop, but they did not have any of that stuff.
They have an Indiana Jones section there?
They do.
They do.
Yeah. I don't think they have any merch that would be the new kind, the new stuff. But
that seems kind of odd. I mean,
well, I don't know. Pirates, Indy, it's not that far apart, right?
Sure, right.
Same thing. Anyway.
Hopefully you enjoyed the trip report. If you want to hear more about us or our podcast or anything else, you can find us elsewhere. Where is that?
On Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, all at TWTM Podcast. We have a Spreadshirt store in which you can get your exclusive TWTM merchandise at shop.spreadshirt.com/TWTM Podcast. And we have a YouTube channel. Go check out the videos that we have over there.
And we have our website, travelingwiththemouse.com. You can get links to all that and more there. Email podcast@travelingwiththemouse.com. And if you want help planning your next Disney trip, you can use our travel agent friend, Jill Dilbeck. Her email address is jilldilbeck@gmail.com.
So, for John, Adam, this is Jason. This has been Traveling with the Mouse, and we will see you on our next trip. Goodbye.
Yeah.
When will that next trip be?
Next week.
Yeah. Now. I'm leaving right now, actually.